Let's talk about how we can use our weaknesses to discover our strengths. I suck at a lot of things. Doing dishes, sitting in traffic, listening to authority. The list goes on, and my wife can probably give you a much longer list than I could. But the reality is that I'm only good at really a handful of things, and pretty much everything else I suck at. And one thing that I realized several years ago was the more things that I can get rid of, that I can purge from my life, the more time and energy I have to focus on the things that I'm really, really good at. It just makes for a happier life, less anxiety, and you become more effective in business, which means you make more money and you have more time. So I'll tell you a little story about how I took my biggest weakness, which is impatience, and I flipped it on its head to help me make more money and also save a crap load of time. So my friends tell me that I'm probably the most impatient person they know, which is probably true because I hate sitting in traffic. I can't stand going to amusement parks and standing in lines. And don't even ask me to go to the mall anytime during the holiday season. I can't take it. And this lack of patience has actually cost me pretty dearly in different aspects of my life. And I'll give you an example. One of those is day trading. So day trading, the stock market, requires a tremendous amount of patience. And that's something that over the past 15 years has been a real struggle for me. And I've continually worked at, but it's something that is just in my genes. It's something that's really, really difficult, where my wife, she is inherently really patient. She's like a Buddhist monk. She can sit back and wait for trades for hours, days, or weeks without having that need to want to force bad trades. And over trading is actually one of, if not the biggest reason why most traders lose money in the markets. So for me, whenever I was day trading all day, every day, a typical day would look like this. It would start out profitable and it would look good. And then the longer the day went on, I would actually give back profits because I would lose mental focus and energy, and my patience muscle would wear down a lot faster than most people's. So what did I do? I just stopped day trading. I figured out what I did the best, which was over the past few years, I've come to realize that I am like a really, really good swing trader in Bitcoin. My win ratio is much, much higher than any other style of trading that I've ever done or any other market that I've ever traded. And it's by far the most profitable market for me just because it fits my personality. So what did I do is I helped other people like my wife, who are much more patient than me, move into the day trader role. So Nikki trades full time every single day. Now, that doesn't mean she's there from market open to market close. Sometimes she only trades for a few hours in the morning. In fact, most of the days, that's what it looks like. But she has the patience to sit there and wait and hunt for those trades, where I have kind of this innate ability. It's like, or innate weakness, that the longer I sit there, the harder it is for me to wait and be patient. And I think there's actually a lot of people that kind of fit into that category. I think it's maybe 1 out of 10 people that kind of have that patience already ingrained in them. So the key takeaway is this. I identified my weakness, which was a lack of patience, or just a weak patience muscle. Even though I've worked on it, it's kind of like somebody who has like small biceps, and no matter how hard they go to the gym and do curls, they just can't get their biceps up. My patience muscle is kind of like that. Doesn't matter how many years and decades I work on it, mine is always going to be a little weaker than kind of the average person. So I use that weakness to help discover my strength, which was swing trading, because it requires less screen time. I really only invest maybe an hour or two a month actively managing positions. So I have alerts set, and when Bitcoin does something that I feel is going to make a 15 to 60% move where there's big profit potential, then I'll trade, and I ignore everything else. So what that did is it's actually saved me a ton of time and made me more money. So let's go through 4 steps that you can use to use your weaknesses in order to find your strengths. So start by just really taking like an introspective look and saying, what do I really struggle at, or what do I suck at? And then instead of getting all depressed or down on yourself for having a weakness, just identify it. Write a long list of them, and it might not feel too good at first, but trust me, it's going to be really, really helpful. So once you label those things that are a struggle for you, those actions, it could be doing laundry, it could be running errands, it could be following up with people on the phone, it could be anything related to business or personal life. Once you identify kind of those actions, that's step number one. Number two is write down what the personality trait or the weakness that's attached to that action. So for me, the impatience in day trading all day led to over trading, right? So step one is day trading, over trading. Step two is impatience. That's the weakness. Step three is to brainstorm potential solutions where you can flip that weakness on its head. So could it be maybe outsourcing your laundry to somebody else? Could it be hiring an assistant? Or could it be just getting extra training in something? Or just eliminating a task and moving in a different direction altogether? So once you identify the weakness, or once you identify the things you're struggling at, and then identify the personality trait that's the weakness, and then you brainstorm potential solutions for how you can flip it on its head and use that as a strength, then number four is to execute and to just take massive action. Don't just sit there and look at, okay, well, cool, now I know what I suck at and how I can potentially fix that. Put it into action. Create action steps. And once you do that, leave me a comment. I want to know what aspects or areas of your life do you struggle with, and what are you going to do to fix that? I promise I'm going to read every comment. So let's get a conversation going. Don't forget to like up this video, guys. Subscribe to also the Pathways to Wealth podcast on iTunes, which we just launched recently. And have a great one. Thank you for watching this video. Talk to you soon.